The next theme I wanted to talk about pertained to chapter 4, particularly talking about behavior and pro-social behavior in classrooms. And I think one of the reasons that this theme kind of stuck out for me is that in my first year of teaching, I had fairly poor classroom management. Um, in this past year, when I only taught once in a 6-day cycle, I taught health 7, 8. The kids didn't really take it seriously, and the structure of the classroom is not typically how I would structure it, but because they had other teachers for the other periods of the day and I only saw them once in a 6-day cycle, it made overcoming those hurdles of expectations and classroom behavior a little bit more challenging. And so this year, going into a year when I'm going to have the same class for 2 subjects every day, or sorry, 1 every day and 1 every other day, is gonna allow me to kind of adopt some more structured classroom management pieces, implementing PBS in order to prevent PBIS, I suppose, in order to prevent, unwanted, undesired problem behaviors in my students. And so looking at, the text, there's a lot to be said for teachers who are able to implement that effective behavior management. Um, in terms of what they're able to get accomplished in a day, student engagement, students like predictability, right? And so if they know what to expect when something goes awry or a behavior happens, or they have a student who, is prone to certain behaviors, knowing what to expect in that situation is going to benefit them as well, because young kids and even, arguably into their teenage years thrive on predictability and routine. So there's a lot of different components that talk about, or sorry, that could play into managing behavior and promoting kind of that pro-social behavior. Is as simple as looking at the physical space, the way that you have your resources laid out, your desks, how they're set up. COVID was really tough for creating a sense of classroom community because students were supposed to be socially distanced from each other. They weren't supposed to be intermingling with other cohorts. So I think going into this year when I'm going to have my own, class every day, I'm really excited to implement some of the things that I've learned from chapter 4 when it comes to creating routine, implementing PBIS with my kids in order to, really foster that classroom community, expectations of the students and what they can expect of me, and ultimately creating a safe and healthy learning environment for all students.